Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ivan Viljoen, aka Tony 2 Cents, and we're talking about, this is a series called Youth Ministry 101. And the previous session we spoke about resources, obtaining them, planning it, and how is it going to form part of your meeting, and placing it on the floor plan and hearing from God, how is the venue going, how is the meeting, what is the meeting going to look like, how is it going to play out. I'm talking about vision here, God showing you exactly in a vision sort of what's going to happen in your first meeting. This will help you create expectations. God will you'll hope for 100 people, but it depends on how large your church is and how much promotion the senior pastor has put into it. There will probably not be a lot unless you have a mainstream or a headliner band playing. To eradicate this problem, get your pastor behind your vision, behind your plans, what you've done. Sort of make sure that he promotes the youth meeting in the main services every time that he preaches or he does the announcements. I have found I found that helps a lot. When the pastor is behind you, everyone sees that he's behind your plan or whatever. It doesn't look like a little rebellion thing, and people tend to endorse it. This session, we're going to go a little bit more into resources and the meeting. So we've ascertained more or less what you have. Now, I want to quickly talk about what are good things to have, to look out for, sort of try and find them, ask questions about it. Are you allowed to use them, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, two major things which I will probably only touch on in this session is lighting and sound. Right, sound is sort of important because if you look at, I'm going to explain to you sort of what the meeting has as elements inside of it. Because of the characteristics of this generation, I'll teach you later on exactly how to do it, what to do, all that kind of stuff. But you will want to incorporate a lot of audiovisual, music, performance, drama, and to make that work, especially if you have a large venue and a large crowd, you'll need a mic or two. So those are nice things to have. You can start your first meeting with 1 or 2 mics. It will be appropriate. To make an impression, which is sort of important on the first night, so the kids sort of get excited about your ministry and you being involved with them, is sort of play on your skills. Can you flip a basketball and spin it on your finger? Are you a good tennis player? Can you juggle bowling balls? I don't know, something funny like that to attract the attention and sort of break the ice and get things going. We'll talk about all that kind of stuff first. But what you want to do is you want to take one of your talents or a hobby, incorporate that in the meeting and use it to impress, but also to sort of give you a credibility that you have really gone into a lot of lengths to make the meeting nice and successful. This is very important because I'll teach you later in the sort of exercises and the group activities, and especially in your messages, you'll want to use illustrations. I'm going a bit off the point. We're talking about your resources, what's good to have in lighting and sound. We spoke about sound. Let's talk about that for now. Just you need a mic, and so what lighting and that is concerned, it's good to have a smoke machine. It creates fun. Obviously, if you have a smoke machine, you need 1 or 2 colored lights, or just a disco light that flashes like this. I'm just talking about bare necessities here, things that you start with that you'll need to make your first meeting impressive. Like a spotlight, maybe, to sort of, if you're gonna make a drama or you're gonna act out something, a spotlight is cool. All those things need operators, so the first meeting will probably be a little bit difficult. I found my first couple of meetings, I had to do the sound, I had to do the DVD machine, all that kind of stuff. It's very difficult. In the sound, you'll probably need a DVD player, you'll need a screen or some kind of projector or whatever. Those are good to have. Most churches have them. If you don't, it's not really necessary that you do have them, but we'll talk about those kind of stuff, audio visuals later on. Like I said, smoke machine, a disco ball. it's corny, but it's fun and people like it, and that kind of thing. Now, are you going to sort of steer the ministry? Do you have a band? Is there a current band? You might, when you start in the youth ministry, you might just have started to get into the thing. There might already be an established band, which is good. You might be taking over a youth group from someone else. We'll talk about taking over later on. Let's just write that down. You might have to do that. I'm taking this whole teaching, this whole series, and I'm talking about as if you're going to start from scratch. If you don't have a band yet, don't worry, it will come. If you do have a band, you're going to need to use the equipment that you need the blessings of the pastor for, you need the backing of the sound guy in the church, and you need to clear that with the worship leader or the worship pastor of the church. That is very, very important. I will later on will teach you on exactly how to get that going and whatever. Now, some of you might sit there and say, but I don't have all of this. That's okay. It's okay to start with what you do have. That's why I said in the beginning, look at what you do have and use what you do have and try and make it as funky and as exciting as possible. Then you need to envision. We've done that exercise in the previous session. Envision, what would you like to have? What is short in the venue? What is short in the meeting? After the first meeting, you'll have a whole list. You can write a book on exactly what you didn't have and what went wrong. Trust me. But I want you to sort of let your mind run on exactly what would you like to have? What would make it fun? What did you need? What, that kind of thing. And this will mostly you'll be able to ascertain this after the first meeting or after 5 or so. And after that, also write that down. So you've got 2 lists now we spoke about. The first one is the resources that you do have available or that you would like to get clearance on. The second one I'm talking about now is make a list of what you would like to have that you don't have available. Then go and trust God for it. We'll talk about how you do that. How do you get stuff from being in your vision to manifesting? We'll do that later on. Like I said, trust God for that, and then you must start recognizing the needs of the meeting. What will you need in the meeting, and what are the needs of the kids? Talk about demographics and places and areas. Every area, every church is in a different place and has a different demographic, and obviously has a different way of how they do that. Then, in your meeting and everything that you plan, you need to embrace youth culture. I'm talking about everything. Skateboarding, basketball, whatever young people are into in your area or in your focus of ministry, embrace that and use that and make it the best. And, it's okay to wing practicing, like riding a skateboard. It's okay to wing it because kids will laugh at you and you'll get to people who would want to teach you and all that kind of stuff. Then we're getting to the end of our session. You might ask yourself, is it really necessary to have meetings? Yes. Meetings are very important because it's a component of establishing and growing your youth ministry. Out of that, everything comes. All right. And then finally, once you have all this stuff down on paper, you have a plan that is before your first meeting, and you need to do this a week or 2 before your first meeting starts. You've got a plan, you've got everything written out, you've envisioned how it's going to start. Now, go and meet with the elders. Ask the pastor to organize, the senior pastor to organize that, meet with the elders, and this is what I did. Make them close their eyes and explain to them exactly how a young person would experience your first meeting. Getting out the car, preparing for the meeting, when they dress, get up, whatever, get into the car, their parents drop them off, to the very last thing when they leave. They need to see everything happen the way that you are going to sort of present it. Get all of them on the same page. It's very important. The what, the how, the when, the where, and the how. Then, when that happens, they know what to expect, and the expectations will not be too high or too low. And if you can deliver what you told them that you envision, the evening will be a success. So will your youth ministry be in their eyes, and to have their backing is very, very important. This is Ivan Fiyun, aka Tony 2 Cents for the 220 220generation.com.